Rachel Robinette, Park River, Michigan.
Connor Bryant, Rapid River, Michigan. Patrick Chartier, Marquette, Michigan.
Logan Dennis, Marquette, Michigan.
Colin D'Antonio, Watersmeet, Michigan. Nicholas Minner, Rapid River, Michigan. Dalton Dental, Escanaba, Michigan. Brian Fox, Portland, Michigan.
Josue Gomez, El Paso, Texas.
Aaron Hano, Lakeland, Michigan.
Christina Johnson, Chassell, Michigan.
Cole Kempton, Bergen, Michigan. Nathan King, Marquette, Michigan.
Brendan Learning from Garden City, Michigan.
David Magnuson, Crystal Falls, Michigan. Hunter Matson, Belch, Michigan. Brian Menard, Norrie, Michigan. Anthony Mishaw, Kingsford, Michigan. Brian Mills, Wausau, Wisconsin.
Roger Norman, Lake Linden, Michigan.
Rock Boynan, Calumet, Michigan.
Thomas Rondell, Atlantic Mine, Michigan. Paul Rickard, Ironwood, Michigan. Derek Robinette, Menominee, Michigan. Ryan Salo, Harvey, Michigan. Maxwell Sheriff, Escalon, Michigan. Jared Syverson, Gladstone, Michigan. Harrison Thorne, Sioux City Marine, Michigan. Justin Van Dries, Escanaba, Michigan. Jack Vogler, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dalton Zadevsky, Engadine, Michigan.
We will now recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Class, that's it, John.
I pledge allegiance
of the United States of America and to the
16.
welcome. A little bit different way of doing things than the last 25, 30 years we've been running academies. But one thing we need to learn is to adapt and overcome, and that's what we're doing. The class 0920 has put up with a lot of different elements throughout their academy, besides just the ones of attending every day, long hours, strenuous physical and mental toll that it takes on them. They dealt with different social aspects and, of course, the COVID. But we're not here to talk about the bad things. We're here to talk about what they've accomplished, and they have accomplished a lot. They have put forth 14 weeks of effort, having 16 weeks worth of hours. So their days consisted of going into long nights, weekends, and about everything else. And everything we ask of them, they took on and conquered. Usually we'd have many guests here. We'd interview the advisory board and some distinguished guests. We don't have those here today. They are hopefully watching and enjoying your accomplishment with you. We do want to thank our advisory board. They give us guidance when it comes to running the academy. We want to thank, of course, President Erickson from NMU, who supports the academy no matter what happens. We do have Chief Bath here from NMU PD. You usually see him quite a bit more. However, he's been slightly busy over the past 6 months, basically putting in more hours than we have, actually. Miss Darlene Kaito, the office administrator. Miss Kaito is actually retiring in another week. So this will not be her last academy. I'm sure she'll return to many, but this is her last in the official capacity. And Mr. Mike Logie from MCOLS. We're not having an instructor of the year this year. We're not having a name class namesake. We name the class after someone. We're not doing that this year. The reason we're not doing an instructor is every instructor put in twice the effort that they ever have before. Everything from wearing masks to teach, to following the cleaning protocols, to the extra hours. So in my mind and the recruit's mind, I hope every instructor they had should be the instructor of the year. As far as namesake, it just was not a year to have one. We want to celebrate someone we name an academy after, and this is not a great way for them to celebrate not having the accolades that they deserve. So that's why we don't have a namesake this year. We'll just call this 2020 Academy, and this one's for all of us, basically, is what it comes down to. With that being said, we're going to get some comments from the university. On behalf of NMU, we're going to hear from Dr. Dale Capola.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant, and thank you, recruits. I'm very honored to be providing comments on behalf of the university for President Erickson. And please know that President Erickson wished that he could have been here. He had a conflict and he couldn't, but he does send along his congratulations. As the lieutenant alluded to, the president is a staunch supporter of the academy, always has been, and it's one of his highlights of his year is attending graduation. So he really feels bad he can't be here. But I too want to congratulate you and welcome to law enforcement. You know, the university recognizes that you've been through a grueling summer, much as like what the lieutenant just mentioned. So now it's time to relax and exhale a little bit for just a little bit, Most of you are going to be going out and into the working world here real soon. But I want to just have just a few comments and leave you with just a couple of things to think about as you start moving forward. First of all, several years ago, you may or may not know that the university and the faculty of the university recognized the academic rigor of the police academy. And they actually voted to award academic credit for successful completion of the academy. And I think this is important because that is a real testament to what you have just accomplished. It is rigorous and it is long, and you think that it's not going to end, but it is ending, as you know. But we are very, very happy that you chose us to complete the academy. And again, you should be congratulated on going through such a rigorous program. I was in your shoes many years ago, and I spent a dozen years in law enforcement, and I will tell you, it's an extremely rewarding career. You are going to enjoy yourself as law enforcement officers. And I really have three really small bits of information that I'd like you to take with you when you leave today. The first one is don't ever stop learning. I mentioned I was in law enforcement and before I got into higher ed. During your law enforcement career, you're going to have the opportunity to attend trainings, and you're going to have mandated trainings. Take that opportunity at every turn. In fact, think about going back and getting advanced degrees at universities. Please come back to ours. We'd like you to, but consider that. So never stop learning. And then volunteer for everything when you're on the job. That's one of the things that I can't emphasize enough. You're going to have the opportunity to do some special things. Maybe it's snowmobile patrol, maybe it's canine, maybe it's community policing, whatever it is, volunteer for those things and learn as much as you can about the job. That sets the stage for a very long and rewarding career. And the last thing I'll say, and it kind of goes without mentioning because it's probably been drilled into you for the last several weeks, and that is take care of each other. You will find a camaraderie amongst your law enforcement colleagues that you won't find anywhere else. Trust me, I know. And take care of each other. It's very important to have each other's backs. And I know you know that, but I just want to reiterate it. So with that, on behalf of the university, once again, congratulations and be well. Lieutenant?
Thank you, Dr. Capel. With comments on behalf of the Northern Michigan University Board of Trustees, Mr. Steve Mitchell.
Can you hear me? It's a great pleasure for me to be here today to have an opportunity to honor those of you who are graduating from the academy. About a month or so ago, I was downtown in Lansing, and there was a demonstration, a peaceful demonstration at the time of the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. And I was going to a meeting, and a young fellow that works for me thought I was going in the wrong direction because I wasn't going directly into the building. He thought maybe I didn't know which building it was. But instead of going into that building directly, there were 5 police officers standing in front of the building, and I wanted to go by and thank every one of those officers for the service that they provide. And so one by one, individually, I thank them, as I thank every law enforcement officer I see, as I thank every military person I see when they're in uniform. I thank them for their service because of the extraordinary job that they do, especially in times like this. Charles Dickens, who we all know wrote The Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge, also wrote another book called A Tale of Two Cities. And in A Tale of Two Cities, the opening line says that it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. And for those of you going into law enforcement, in many ways, it is the worst of times because of the manner in which some people do not respect the work that you do or do not respect who you are. But it's also the best of times because it needs men and women like you who are committing themselves to protecting and to serving our society. And we need people like you to protect all of us, no matter whether they're in small towns, big cities, or wherever. It is critical to have the people do the job that you're doing. And so in terms of the best of times, we need people of your caliber who have made the commitment and the tremendous lifetime of service that you're going to provide. So I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing. But more importantly, so does society. My job in the real world, when I'm not working at Northern Michigan University as chair of the board, is a pollster. One of the things I do is political polling and consulting. And at the height of the difficulties that police officers were facing, I did a survey here in Michigan to see whether or not police funding or defunding was a popular idea. And guess what? 3 out of 4 voters do not support defunding the police department. And that includes a cross-section right across the board, bipartisan, biracial. People do not want to defund the police because people fundamentally understand how important the police are to all of our lives. And the idea of defunding a group that is doing so much good is anathema to 3/4 of the people in this state and 3/4 of the people nationally. So you people are needed. Those of you who are protecting and serving are needed, and the public understands how much you're necessary in our society to protect all of us. As I look at this concept of policing and serving, a friend of mine sent me a video, and it showed how quickly someone can reach into a vehicle, have a gun, and fire it at a police officer. 0.28 seconds. In other words, you have to make critical decisions at the speed of light, practically. These are tough decisions that you have to make, and you can only hope, and we can only hope, that you make the right one every time. But I can guarantee you that the vast majority of us support what you're doing, and I cannot tell you how proud I am to be associated with this school. And if I could, I want to take a brief moment to thank a good friend of mine. Mike Bath is my first cousin. His father and my brother were born literally on the same day. They're first cousins. Mike, by the way, got the job before I came to Northern Michigan University and was put on the board, so there was no nepotism there. But I cannot tell you how proud I am of the job that he does every single day and the job that he has done during the 8 years almost that I've been on this board. And so, Mike, I know you don't want to be recognized. It's all about the graduates, but I could not let this opportunity go by and not thank you for all that you do in leading the Northern Michigan University Police Department. For all of you, as you go off using the skills that you learned here at Northern Michigan University, I want to say from the very bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much for being willing to go out and to protect and to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell and Dr. Kapla. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll now present the long-awaited Academy video. I've been stressing over this for what now, 3 months, trying to make sure it was hoping it was getting done. So I'm seeing it pretty much for the first time, as are you. So enjoy. guess next year we'll have to put one of those PG-13 disclaimers on the video. Like I said, I didn't get to see it much before you did. And those weren't energy drinks in the hands, were they? Okay. All right. Moving on. We'll now begin the award presentation. We're going to do individual awards. We have quite a few to hand out here. So when we call your name, please come up. Some of you know you're getting them, some of you don't. Academic award. During the academy, we have 14 exams. We keep an average percentage. This year, we had a dogfight going into the last day. It came down to the very last test. We probably had 5 people in line for the award. But one came out on top with 100% on the DT test. So this year's academic award with a 93.94% average goes to recruit Paul Rickard. This year we did a most improved PT. Talking to the instructors, a lot of you were similar, but one recruit really stuck out and improved a great deal. In fact, he was injured during his exit PT exam and could not finish it. 2 weeks later, he knocked it out of the park, exceeding what we thought he would accomplish. With that being said, the most improved physical training goes to recruit Ryan Salo. The Top Gun Award goes to the top shooter, the top shot, marksmanship, overall performance over the 100 hours of shooting that we do. It was neck and neck. They could have been given, this award could have been given to 4 recruits. The instructors got together and decided that just by an edge, this year's Top Gun Award goes to recruit Brock Poyanen. The NMU Distinguished Graduate Award is voted on by peers and by Academy staff. It takes in consideration conduct, performance, and academics. This year's award winner for NMU Most Distinguished Graduate goes to recruit Patrick Chartier. The MCOL's Outstanding Performance Award is similar. It's voted on by the peers. It takes into account also leadership. This year, and it was a very close race, this year's MCOL's Outstanding Performance Award goes to recruit Derek Robinette. We'll now do individual presentations of certificate of completion, along with a challenge coin. The coin tradition just started last year. We decided to give a challenge coin to each recruit, commemorating their time here at the academy, hoping they'll have it with them. Most of the time, they can look back, think about what they learned, draw on it for inspiration and maybe strength. So each recruit will call up, starting with recruit Connor M. Bryant. Recruit Patrick L. Chartier. Recruit Logan E. Danis. Recruit Colin A. D'Antonio. Recruit Nicholas J. Dementer. Recruit Dalton L. Deno. Recruit Brian J. Fox. Recruit Josue E. Gomez. Recruit Aaron B. Hainault. Recruit Cole R. Kempinen. Recruit Christina M. Johnson. Recruit Nathan S. King. Recruit Brendan M. Laurendine. Recruit David J. Magnuson. Recruit Hunter L. Matson. Recruit Ryan J. Menard. Recruit Anthony G. Mishaw. Recruit Brian L. Mills. Recruit Elijah E. Norman. Recruit Brock V. Poihanen. Recruit Thomas J. Randall. Recruit Paul J. Rickard. Recruit Derek A. Robinette. Recruit Rachel L. Robinette. Recruit Ryan V. Salo. Recruit Maxwell J. Sheriff. Recruit Jared P. Syverson. Recruit Harrison C. Thorne. Recruit Justin C. Vandries. Recruit Jack L. Vogler. Recruit Dalton J. Sedebski. How'd I do? Got them all? I was telling the recruits I was up till at least 2:00 in the morning practicing all the names last night, so I didn't mess them up because I'm not known for my proper pronunciation of names, as probably a dozen of them can attest to in here. Give yourself a round of applause. You guys definitely deserve it. And also, let's celebrate the family and friends that supported you all through the academy and put up with your long days and tired nights. The recruits will now recite the oath of honor.
My character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve.
With that being said, it's been an interesting time. I hope you understand how happy we are and how proud I am of all of you. For the last time, class 0920, you are dismissed.